quarterly, you know that feeling, you just slight down. You're in a meeting, the third, arranging your face into a mask of pleasant interest. You're smiling, you're nodding along, but inside, your mind is a million miles away, just a pilot counting down the seconds until you can finally land the plane. Why don't you force a loud laugh at your boss's couple joke? They make up everything. You congratulate a coach. Congratulations motions you urgently feel you deserved. You might call it being polite, or being a team player, but what you're really doing is adjusting a mask, a social costume. And it turns out, we're all actors in this brand unwritten play, wearing these costumes to navigate the world every single day. You might think you know yourself, but how much of that self is a carefully managed, sometimes exhausting performance? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the hidden psychology that pushes us to perform. We'll get into the foundational reasons we all wear these masks, and then reveal the profound and sometimes devastating cost of that performance. This idea is far from new. In his groundbreaking 1959 book, sociologist Erving Goffman introduced a concept called dramaturgy, arguing that our social lives are, in essence, a series of theatrical performances. We're all actors on a stage, and our primary motivation is something he called impression management, the drive to present a specific, curated version of ourselves to our audience. It's like we're all our own personal PR agents, constantly spinning a story of future. This isn't necessarily about being fake or malicious. It's a fundamental, almost instinctual part of how societies function. Think about the cheerful barista who gives you that huge, welcoming smile, even if they've had a horrendous morning. Or the manager there remains a picture of calm down reset, the captain of a steady ship, even when a massive project is actively sinking behind the scenes. This process can be conscious and deliberate, or it can be totally subconscious, a habit so ingrained we don't even notice it. We do it to be accepted, to get ahead, and to protect our own vulnerable feelings from judgment. So, we all wear masks. It's part of the human contract. But what happens when the mask starts to feel less like a costume and more like a cage? The mask becomes a shield we use to keep our social anxiety from taking over. Goffman beautifully illustrated this with his concept of the front stage and backstage selves. The front stage is the polished show we put on for the world. The backstage is the chaotic, messy, and loud kitchen, where the real work happens. It's where we can finally drop the act, take off the mask, and just be our authentic, unpolished self. The sheer mental effort of constantly policing your words, your posture, your expressions, it's utterly exhausting. For a neurodivergent person, masking is often like being forced to wear a heavy suit of armor that's 2 sizes too small, all day, every day. It could mean forcing eye contact, even when it feels physically painful, like staring into the sun. It could mean meticulously mimicking the social cues, tone, and body language of others, essentially scripting conversations to seem normal. The mental energy it requires is like running a marathon every single day, leading to profound exhaustion and a state known as autistic burnout. The brilliant psychiatrist Carl Jung had a name for this social avatar we create: the persona. The persona is the mask we present to the world, the archetype of conformity that helps us fit into society. But Jung issued a stark warning about the danger of persona identification when we start to believe we are the hat. He called this archetype the shadow. Think of the shadow as the messy, cluttered basement of your personality. It contains all the impulses, desires, and traits we've disowned because we find them unacceptable. The real solution is to cultivate awareness. It's about consciously choosing when to wear the mask, and, most important, knowing when and where you can safely take it off. The second step is to actively identify and cultivate your safe spaces. These are the precious relationships and environments where you can take off the heavy costume, wipe off the makeup, and just breathe without the fear of judgment. Finally, it's about slowly and intentionally shifting your focus from just fitting in to living more authentically. It's about learning to conduct the orchestra of your life so it plays music that comes from your soul. Real freedom isn't about shattering the mask into a million pieces. It's about having the wisdom to know when to use it, and the courage to know when to set it aside and let your real self be seen. Share your experiences in the comments below. It's a conversation that helps all of us feel a little less alone behind our own masks. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating psychological deep dives.